Okay, there we are. Well, had something going on briefly. All right, let's give this one more try. Um, my drop frame rate is down. Looks like I've got pretty solid connection, doing about 18 megabits per second, and I've got green at this point. That's about half of what I'm normally transmitting at, so hopefully it looks pretty good. But anyway, as I was saying earlier, before this technical trouble, I have restarted this stream, so you might not be back. We'll see. But we've got we're about 13% of the way to lakes, and we've got a pretty good amount of oxygen going. Yeah, my screen is not as clear as I'd like it to be, but anyway, I've got a little light on the heat, so I'd like to pump up that heat a little bit, and I also want to get the other ore extractors going. So let's take a look at our resources and see what we've got. So here's our heaters. I'd like to get another heater in here, but that's going to require a iridium rod. So that's my uranium. Here's my iridium. I got one rod here, and I've got lots of iridium. So I think I can probably do that. So let's go ahead and grab some of this and make another iridium rod. Okay, so now I've got 2 iridium rods and some iridium. I'm going to go ahead and put away this cobalt. And, while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and put some windows, because I have the cobalt in my inventory and a bunch of iron. So I'm going to go ahead and put my windows in. So I've got those. Okay, I just dropped my cobalt, so I'm going to go ahead and grab a couple more of those. Add some more windows. I know this is like not part of the plan, but this is my my ADD brain on display. All right, so here we've got some cobalt away. I can't put the iron away because I've got it's an overflow. I do have an overflow bucket over here, so I'll go ahead and put that there. So let me take a quick look, grab some iridium, and make another rod or 2. Okay, now I want to make another heater, and I want to make an ore extractor. So the ore extractor is going to be right here. So I'm going to need a couple of osmium, a super alloy, an aluminum, and a titanium. The heater is going to take a silicon, a titanium, and an aluminum. For the both of them, I'm going to need 2 titanium, 2 aluminum, a silicon, a super, and 2 osmium. So let's just kind of grab the 2 osmium right here. That'll make a miner. And the titanium, I need a couple of those. And the silicon, oh, that's sulfur. Silicon, I'm going to need 1 of those. And the supers, I believe, are around the corner. Yeah, there they are. I haven't labeled them yet. So there. So I've got a super, a silicon, a titanium, 2 osmium, and the 2 rods. So I need 2 aluminum to top off my inventory. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go up here and I make 1 more heater. Get that heat going a little bit better. Just pop that right in the... Come on! Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to move one of these, I think. Oh. Okay, I'm going to move this one just a little bit. I'm going to tuck that over there and get a little more space. There we are. Okay, now they're not exactly square, but they'll work. Okay, I want to put it in another ore extractor, so I'm going to need probably need some food and water before I go out there. Go ahead and eat that squash. And I've got consumables right here, so I'm going to go ahead and grab another squash And I'll grab a third water, which I will be using shortly. Okay, so aluminum, the quickest way to mine aluminum is over here in the what I call the darkling space. Ooh, yeah, getting red bars on my broadcast. Let's see how this goes. We will see. All right, so I've got my ore extractor ready to go. There's just aluminum on the ground over here. That's kind of cool. There's another chest over there. I'll take care of that in a second. I call this the darkling space because the deeper you get into it, the darker it gets. You actually start to see like stars up in there and so forth, or at least a moon. So yeah, come over here toward the end, beginning of the space, and let's go ahead and make a ore extractor. Okay, so this is going to be aluminum. So that's our primary extract, the thing that will come out more often than any others. I can't say it'll come out most of the time because there are other things that'll come out, and it will probably only come out about 1/5 of the time, or 1/4 of the time at best. So let's go ahead and do it like we did before. Grab a couple of iron, and here's an aluminum. I'll take that too. Silicon. Silicon is handy, but I don't need it right now. I need 3 iron to make a platform, 4 iron to make a platform and a locker. So I'm going to go ahead and do that here. Platform. Okay, and while I'm at it, go ahead and lockers are down. Keep an eye on my oxygen and go ahead and take that. And hydration. So this is basically just going to be for what other stuff comes out of here that I don't carry off. Will go into this locker eventually. This is kind of a temporary, I'll call it overflow. The things that don't fit in my inventory that I'm going to take back. This will fill up. Obviously, it's got 20 slots, but it's going to fill up with a lot of stuff, mostly junk, or at least not junk, but stuff we're not looking for. Oh, here's some food and some good materials. I'll take that bucket. And as we poke around here, it's a really neat space. But look, there's our kind of a wreck back there. Take a look at that. Let's make sure I've got enough materials to build an oxygen hut. I'm going to grab a couple of titanium, and I got a silicon, and I got a couple of iron. Going to need at least 3 iron. So I'm going to actually build that right over here by the miner, the ore extractor, and again, now the stream seems to be settling down, so I'm going to go ahead and cross my fingers and hope this holds out. Might need to get a hold of my service provider and tell them something's not quite right. We did have a storm come through last night, so there might be some wet lines or something out there, wet connections. I'm going to go ahead and grab that stuff. Okay, what is this looking like? We've got a storage crate in there. Don't want to deconstruct it because I probably won't be able to. See, if I try, it'll just tell me that I can't. Got some technical debris in there. Okay, so we levitate up here a little bit. Let's go in the nose. There's the technical debris that we cannot destroy yet or deconstruct. And I got some storage crates in here. That's nice. Oh, I've got a chip and some aluminum. I'll go ahead and leave the iron here temporarily. Take the aluminum. We already had a lot of cobalt, so I'll take the uranium. Take the water. Ooh, got another squash seed. That'll come in handy. I'll leave the cobalt here. And silicon here for the time being. Okay, so I got some more aluminum. It's just like aluminum heaven over here. I'll drop the titanium. Okay, and I'll take the cloth. Oh, look, I've got more good stuff in there, so we'll come back for that. Meanwhile, I'm going to head back to my oxygen hut that I built by the ore extractor and re-up my oxygen a little bit. Not sure why I put the door on this side, but I did. And I can't change that right now because my inventory is full. What have we got going in here so far? See, we've got an iron, a magnesium, and an aluminum. So that's good. Our ore extractor is doing its job. Let's leave the darkling space and head back to our little house on the hill. Still needs to put some windows in there. You can see we're starting to get some groundwater. That's kind of cool. Got some iron under there. I'm going to go the back way to kind of show you this. I don't know if you've observed this yet. Whoops, hang on. Oop, my mouse just decided to kind of freak out on me there. Okay, so we got one ore extractor going. I've got green bars. It looks like my screen's not coming across quite as clearly as I would like, but I'm getting a lot less dropped frames, so I'm going to call that a win. And we've got enough extra heater going. Oops, hang on. Let me get in here, and I got a bunch of aluminum. So I'm going to drop that in there. Got a couple of chips. I got some iridium. I'm going to drop in here. And uranium, which I'm going to drop in there. And I've got some oxygen seeds that I can put things. I'm going to try to get this out in a tier 3 vegetube here shortly. Do I have a? I don't think I've got a flower spreader yet. No, I just have the grass spreader. Okay, I've got consumables and equipment. So I'm going to go ahead and put the fabric in the equipment. And I'm going to go ahead upstairs. I've got almost ready. I'll pick those in just a second. Got some seeds here, which we'll need to get into farms or food growers when we get a chance. Oh, so close. Okay, so let's head over here and decode our chips. So I'm not terribly. Oh, we got the biolab. I need to build that. Okay, so I've also got a vehicle station, and a flower pot and a sign, and the ore extractor we already knew about. So I'm going to go ahead and decode these. I got an area lamp that'll come in handy when I encounter dark places. Back to here, decode the other chip. And I have a shredding machine. That'll also come in handy eventually. Right now, it's not too... Ooh, T2 nuclear reactor. Oh, how exciting. That'll give us a lot of power. So these should be done now. Grab the beans and squash. And I'm going to go ahead and eat the squash. And I'll put the others downstairs in the consumables bucket. To me, everything is a bucket, by the way. My wife makes fun of me for this, but if it's got handles or a door or a lid, it's a bucket. So that's a big old bucket right there. Okay, so I've got a couple of vegetubes here. They've got 400% and 600% going in them. I've got another 400%, so I'm going to go ahead and try to build that out. I got plenty of aluminum now, so let's take a look at tier 3 vegetube. We can make a couple of them now. I've got a couple of aluminum, a couple of silicon, magnesium, and water. Okay, so I think it was 2 silicon, wasn't it? That always throws me. Yes. Okay, I'm going to grab 4 silicon, 2 magnesium, aluminum, and I should have water out there, but I'll go ahead and grab 2 water here, and 2 oxygen plants. So I've got a 400% and a 300% and a 200% and a bunch of 200%. So okay, I'll take these 2 and we'll go ahead and put those out there and get our oxygen production going a little bit. I'll grab this water while I'm here. I'll go ahead and drink some of it. I didn't do my door check, but I'm close to the door, so I wasn't planning on going too far. Put that there, and that there. Okay, so I'm going to put the other 400 here, and the 300 here. And that should jump up our oxygen production pretty well once those finish growing. So another thing I might go ahead and do is, as I said before, grab a couple of iron and cobalt and get the windows going. I do like to have a lot of living compartment windows. I don't know why. I just appreciate it. And there's I do like to have my storage in the middle too. So that is I think I ran out. Yep. Okay. Close. I'll grab 1 more iron and 1 more cobalt. That should take care of my windows all around. Okay. And that'll be my last one here, I think. Okay, so now I'm actually going to need to build that biolab. And we also want to get a sulfur ore extractor going. So let me take a look at that real quick. I also need iridium rods to make rocket engines, which is very important. We'll start doing that. I don't think I haven't built a launch platform just yet. Ooh, biolab launch platform. Biolab launch platform. Urgh. Difficult decisions. I'm going to go ahead and go with a launch platform. Grab 3 supers, 3 iron, and 3 titanium. And now where do we want to put our launch platform? I'd like to put it up here. Let's see if I can build it on this rock. I don't think I can. I think it's gotta hover. I can build a foundation, but I don't think I can build a launch platform. So let's look at where we can put it. It's not going to end up in the water. Something's not right. Okay. I think this might or might not get flooded. Let's rotate it a little bit more. See if I can tuck it over here. I'm going to put it right there. Ooh, I don't like to have the stairs meet the ground. I'm going to try that again. Oh. There we go. Deconstruct. Build it again. Okay, I got the... I don't know, I'm just cleaning up the yard here. So, let's take a quick look at what we've got going here. This is a launch platform. It allows us to create rockets. To find out how to build the rockets, we have to go all the way to the top. We have 2 rockets that we can build right now. We can build a heat multiplier, which will rain down uranium asteroids on our head. Or we can build a pressure multiplier, which attracts iridium asteroids down on our heads, which is handy because we do need the iridium. Always and forever. Okay, but to do that we need, as I said, a rocket engine. and a couple of superalloy and some silicon. Now what this is going to do is each one of those is 1,000% increase. So what that translates to is basically it's a times 10 multiplier. Each rocket we fire up there multiplies whatever we're producing on the ground by an additional 10. So the first rocket is 10 times, the second rocket is 20 times, third rocket is 30 times. And that's how the math works. So I can run up here and we're running up against our time. So I'm going to go ahead and make one rocket engine. For the rocket engine, I think I need an iridium rod and 2 uranium. And what else? A super. Okay, I've got a super. Make one rocket engine. Okay, now to make a pressure rocket, I need 2 supers, which I still have an unmarked container here. And I'm going to need 3 silicon. I've got 2. I'll take another one. I'll drop this titanium off. And I'll drop the magnesium off. And that should be it. I should be able to make a pressure rocket. So let's go ahead and take a look at where we are in our terraformation. So our pressure right now is we're adding 130.72 nanopascals per second. So when I launch the rocket, we should have 1307.20. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we'll be running around and collecting some materials, which I probably won't do as part of the stream. I'll do that separately. Magnetic field protection rocket. Tracks iridium asteroids and gives global generation bonus by protecting magnetic field pressure times 1,000. Well, not times 1,000, 1,000%. All right, and then press the red button to launch it. And stand back and watch the asteroids come in. I'll go ahead and drink some water. And I'll eat that squash. Okay, I'm really low on oxygen right now. Oh, see, there they come. I'll start to see them coming in very quickly now. And these are red asteroids with iridium in them. I'm going to go ahead and grab a couple of cobalt and run over here and make some oxygen capsules. In my lower base, I think I've still got a tier 2. Ooh, I do. I have nothing here to make stuff with. Okay. And, oh, see, there they come. Gotta watch out for those. That'll hurt if it hits you. And you can see in here, there's iridium flying around. I can just pick that up. There's also the core of the asteroid that hit over here, which is red and glowing, but that you can't mine that. And you just see a lot of the iridium is out of reach there. But eventually, you can kind of squeeze under there, or you can just wait for the asteroid rocks to kind of disappear. They will eventually just despawn. Okay, let me get up here, because I'm going to run low on oxygen if I'm not careful. Okay, I know there's a way out of here, because there was a way in. Alright, let me run over here. Okay, so we've got a couple of iridium, and I want to go ahead and take a look at our production, just as an example. Okay. While I'm over here, I'm going to grab another cobalt and make that an oxygen capsule. Where'd my... Okay. Apparently I've deconstructed my tier 2. I'll have to build a new tier 2. Okay, so here, take a look at that, and now we have, as I said, 1,307.20 nanopascals per second. So that increased our pressure output by 1,000%, which is equivalent to multiplying times 10. And each rocket will add another times 10 at the base. So if I fired another rocket, it would basically double what we have here, because it would be the original 130.72 times 20, which would give us about 2,614.4. So that's how that works. Each rocket adds another multiplier to the adds a multiplier. It doesn't have a multiplication effect. It just adds them together. So the first one is times 10, the second one is times 20, and the third one's times 30, and so on and so forth. All right. So I am going to go ahead and build another tier 2 crafting station so that I can make oxygen. Go ahead and build that right here. I was moving things around, so I probably didn't grab that. So I've got some more oxygen here. So I'm going to go ahead and drop off a couple of water. I've got food. I'll grab a bean, and I'll drop off the iridium while I'm here. Then I'll go hunt iridium. The meteor rocks should be disappearing at this point, so it should be fairly easy to pick up. Okay, we're about 27 minutes into the broadcast, but I'll go ahead and try not to break my leg. You don't need to hear that sound. So I'll come over here. We know that we had a couple of asteroids hit here. The rocks aren't disappearing yet, but some of them have, because I can get in here a little easier than I could before. So what we can do now is pick these up and just wait for the rest of them to come apart and disappear. And I can kind of scan around and see where the other ones are. I see some debris over there in the darkling space. I see some debris that might be over here beyond our launch platform. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes unless you really pay attention to where the rocks are. But I think we had a couple of strikes over this way. I'm going to kind of scoot over here and take a peek. Oh, box. Oh, cool. I'll take the iridium and the chip. I'll come back for the rest of it. Yes, so here's another strike. You'll see some iridium on the ground. I can just pick that up. It's not embedded in the ground, so I don't have to mine it. But it's just laying on the ground. So there's rocks get thrown quite a ways from those impacts. And again, as I said, they will slowly just disappear. This is particularly easy to do when it's a little dark out, because the bright glowing red just kind of sticks out. Okay, so I think I might have some more over here. Yes, I do. So we got a good haul of iridium, and we'll turn that into another rocket engine and some more ore extractors. I'm already filling up my inventory. Okay. And kind of remember where these strikes are happening, because the pattern for the various types of asteroids, so the iridium asteroids, generally will strike in a certain specific locations around where you've launched. So depending on your launch pad, it will change, obviously, if you move your launch pad. But the pattern's pretty consistent. They're not always in the same places, but you will find out that there's probably 5 or 6 oops, hang on, I'll consume that oxygen before I die. I don't want to lose my stuff. All right, that's the other thing, is I usually will build out here some oxygen huts So then when I'm running around, I can just jump in and I don't have to use my oxygen capsules. So that's how the rocketry works. And I will go ahead and set up a sulfur miner or extractor when I get that opportunity. Okay, my drop frames are really down, so things seem to be looking up. And I'm a bit thirsty. Go ahead and drink that. Go ahead and run back over here. House up on the hill. It's looking pretty good. See if I can fill up my inventory on these guys here. But as I was saying, the asteroids don't always strike in exactly the same locations, but there's definitely a pattern. There might be like 10 or 12 places where they will strike, and they will 5 or 6 of them will hit each time. Maybe or 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm not exactly sure. I don't really count them, to be honest. Once if I launched again, the strikes would be in a lot of the same places, but there might be some new places too, and some of the old places would be skipped. All right, so let me go ahead and run this iridium up to my storage unit. So one thing I like to do is when I've got a big load like this, I might come over here and just run a couple of rods, create them real quick, and then drop the inventory off so that I don't just fill up the bucket. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. This is the end of episode 12, or part 12 of our playthrough. Next time we will set up the last ore extractor, and we will go collect the additional spoils from the 2 ore extractors we have currently, and we'll get a few more rockets up there to get our heat and our pressure up a bit, and we'll also get some more oxygen producers going. So we should be able to start looking at the tier 4 terraformation gear coming pretty soon. Hopefully we'll see the flower spreaders and maybe the tier 4 heaters coming in pretty quick. To do that, we will need the tier 2 nuclear reactor, which is going to take 2 uranium rods per device, or per unit. And that is a little expensive, but you get better output. You get much more power output with 2 iridium rods in a single tier 2 reactor than 2 tier 1 reactors. So, all right. Thank you very much. Gerhov Malkut, Slongofoil. Goodbye for now, and take care.